Message begins right now. The Arcturians through Suzanne Lai. The manner in which you will meet your galactic self is to remember that perception is the product of the perspective that you are personally experiencing. Many people could perceive the same event, perceived at the same time, and in the same place, but each person would have their own personal perspective. It often takes a great deal of introspection to trust your own perceptions of your changing reality, as well as your changing expressions of your multidimensional self. When you experience or remember who you are in your higher dimensional expressions of self, you will begin to remember why you chose to take the earth vessel that you are currently wearing. This perception of your galactic self is usually experienced via what you call your imagination. Imagination is not bound or limited to social limitations. Therefore, your imagination, which is your own fifth dimensional thinking, will assist you to remember your own multidimensional self. You are already aware of the components of yourself in your third dimensional, physical reality. However, you may seem to be quite different in different frequencies of your multidimensional self. For example, even your fourth dimensional astral self, who you usually bond with during your dreams and meditations, is very different than your fifth dimensional light body self. Your light body self exists within the now of the One, whereas your astral self exists in your dreams, imaginations and creative experiences. We, your galactic family, commend you for your sacrifice to take a third dimensional form on a planet which is on the edge of a major transformation. Therefore, we are here within your now you to assist you to remember that you all have many different frequencies of yourself that exist simultaneously within your multi-dimensional self. You chose to take a third, fourth dimensional Earth body, so that you could assist planet Gaia, and so that you could ground what you have learned and experienced via your multidimensional self into the planetary body of Earth. Earth, who is known to us as Gaia, is ready to move into higher dimensional expressions of her planetary self. However, many of her human inhabitants have created great damage to her body, and are not ready to assist her with her planetary ascension. It is for this reason that many of our fifth dimensional crew members have volunteered to take a physical form on Earth. Some were born, like all humans, and some walked into a body that another was vacating via the process that you know of as death. We, the members of our galactic family, do not experience death, but we did experience transformation and transmutation. Many of us have volunteered to transform ourselves into a third dimensional human, so that we could come to Earth to assist Gaia and to teach her humans the truth of planetary ascension. Transformation means a great change, but within the same dimension of reality. For example, many humans have greatly transformed their physical life during any given incarnation. This transformation prepared them for their transmutation. Transmutation means shifting your resonant frequency into a higher dimension. We are happy to see that more and more of our grounded ones are beginning to awaken to the higher dimensional expressions of your current self. Then, as candidates for ascension, return to your true multidimensional self. You will be called on to prepare for the growing awareness of that perspective of reality that you have chosen to take. You, brave grounded ones, are moving towards a conscious perception of the higher dimensional realities that have always existed in tandem with your physical world. Within this now, you, the ascending ones, are experiencing a yearning for something that you can't quite define. The reason why you cannot define it is because you are trying to run fifth dimensional information through your third dimensional brain. It is, of course, a good practice to align your physical consciousness with the higher dimensional potential of your innate multidimensional brain, especially when it includes your multidimensional self. This intermingling of your third, fourth dimensional human self and your fifth dimensional galactic self is the first step toward personal and planetary ascension. However, you must be patient with your third dimensional physical brain, as it will be called on to activate synaptic junctions that have not been activated since you left the ship or your 5D homeworld. In fact, one of the most difficult challenges of your transmutation into your innate, fifth dimensional frequency of reality is the realization that time and space were only an illusion of your third, fourth dimensional perspective. From your fifth dimensional perspective, you can easily perceive and understand how you are the creator of your third dimensional life. You can recover that knowing because you can consciously communicate with your fifth dimensional family on your ship or homeworld. Unfortunately, once you are on third, fourth dimensional Gaia, the influence of so many physical people who can only perceive life from a third dimensional perspective can make it very easy to forget your true multidimensional self and slip to just being human. However, from the fourth dimensional perspective of your dreams or deep meditations, you will begin to remember another reality that was based on love and light. From your third dimensional perspective, there is time and space. Therefore, there is a past, which many believe they must repair, change, or even ignore. However, while resonating to the fifth dimensional frequency of that very same reality, you will perceive everything from a totally different perspective, which will totally change your perception of reality. In fact, if you can remember to perceive reality from the perspective of your fourth dimensional self, in which you are more open to new ideas, creative ventures and an inner urge to know more about yourself and your reality, your consciousness will expand into fifth dimensional consciousness. Through your fifth dimensional consciousness, your plan to encompass the of reality will expand to encompass the multidimensional aspects of Gaia. In other words, both persons and planet will ascend. That is, the persons who have been able to learn service to others, with others including planet Earth. Humanity has many different states of consciousness, which are much like the channels on your television. If you desire to watch a certain channel, or you desire to perceive a certain reality, set your attention to the channel, frequency of reality that you wish to experience. However, you can watch any channel you wish, but you can only experience the reality to which you set your consciousness. If your consciousness is based on unconditional love and higher light, you will be able to interact, via dreams, meditations, creative works, service to others, etc., higher dimensional versions of reality. As you know, there are those who wish to have power over others, as their operating system. They are the humans who reveal the dark side of your third, fourth dimensional world. These ones from the dark side were able to join Gaia's planet, first because Gaia is such a loving being, and second because they would serve as the darkest night before the dawn. In other words, the dark ones create the polarity of power over. As difficult as it may seem, the dark and the light allow the ascending ones to remember, where your attention is, the you are also. In this manner, those who take an earth vessel have the opportunity to learn how to be the conscious creators of their reality. In the same manner that you may choose what you want to eat, you consciously, or unconsciously, chose what you want to think, to perceive and to do. If it is your desire body that directs your attention toward what you want to perceive, or away what you do not want to perceive, then you have placed your personal desires at the helm of your ship. What you determine you want to perceive, waits in line in your perceptual consciousness to direct your attention in that direction. Therefore, if you want to perceive a means to have power over others, that will be revealed to you. However, as your perceptual field begins to expand to encompass the fifth dimension, you will likely look around and ask, what can I do to assist Gaia and all her life forms? You will also begin to have what is often called visions of a higher reality, a starship, or your own higher dimensional self. What we are saying is that you will have a completely different perspective of life if you perceive reality via the perspective of the third, fourth, or dimensional perceptual field. Each perceptual field is very different. Your third dimensional perceptual field is by separation, and the ongoing changes of time. Your fourth dimensional perceptual field is usually determined by creativity in your daily life, or your dreams and creative endeavors. Your fifth dimensional perceptual field is determined by your interdimensional consciousness, and by what you promised to do during your present excursion into the third dimension. When you resonate to a fifth dimensional state of consciousness, and you are able to expand your perceptual field beyond the third dimension and into the higher fourth and fifth dimensions where our ships usually fly, you will also live within the now of the One, and will able to visit our fifth dimensional reality. The challenge is that your third dimensional brain is not calibrated to consciously perceive the fourth and fifth dimensions. However, your 3D brain is capable of that perception if you can trust your imagination. Imagination is the crossover from third, fourth dimensional thinking and perceptions. You see, how you think, what you think about, and how you respond to your own thoughts greatly influences your state of consciousness. Then, your state of consciousness greatly influences what you think and what you perceive. Thoughts and perceptions work as one. For example, if you think, "Oh, that is impossible, I must be crazy," your perceptual field will shrink back down to the third dimension, and the fourth dimension while you are dreaming, meditation, or being creative. There is a huge frequency shift in the perception of reality when your consciousness resonates to the third dimension, lower fourth, and when your consciousness resonates to the upper fourth and fifth dimension. Then, as your consciousness expands into the fifth dimension, which is usually only in deep meditation, your perception of reality shifts to include the fifth dimensional versions of reality. You may have perceptions of that which many people might judge as impossible, such as seeing a starship. From the third, fourth dimensional perspective of reality to the fifth dimensional perspectives of reality is often a huge shift. This difference is, your third, physical body only perceives the physical reality. Your fourth, astral body perceives your physical reality, your imagination, and your dream world. Your fifth dimensional, light body perceives all the lower bodies, as well as all your fifth dimensional perceptions. Also, there is a major shift between your self-image when you begin to have fifth dimensional perception. Please know that just as you perceive the 3D physical world very differently than you perceive the 4D astral world, perceive 5D light world very differently than you experience the third and fourth dimensional worlds. Also, if you perceive yourself as being just physical, then the physical frequency of reality becomes the reality. It is usually when you are able to move past the limitations of the third dimensional perceptions, into the higher imaginable possibilities of the fourth dimension perceptions, and into the timeless, spaceless imaginable possibilities of the fifth dimensional world that you will begin to perceive and trust your own multidimensional self. As you allow yourself to remember, and be, your true, multidimensional self, you will begin to recover the perception of your fifth dimensional world. However, just as you perceive the third and fourth dimensions in a different manner, there is a great difference in the manner in which you perceive your fifth dimension. It is our own innate ability to perceive the fifth dimension that we wish to recover. At least, we think we wish to recover it. Just perceiving the third dimension can be overwhelming. It is for this reason that our state of consciousness precedes our ability to consciously perceive the higher worlds. Join us on this webinar to find some answers to the questions that you are just now remembering to ask. The Arcturians and Your Galactic family. End of the message. Much love to all of you soul sisters, brothers. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get notified moment by moment. Watch DNA Awakening previous videos for a universal understanding. New subscribers will be updated with the latest articles and informations. We hope this channel has helped you discover where to start on your actual spiritual path. It's a good karma to put a like, comment, subscribe and share with your beloved ones. Leave your suggestion in the below. All the love to you, beautiful